Alrighty, y'all. So I am back. It's been about 20 seconds. And we're going to get into a little deeper into the science of mind symbol and masculine and feminine energies specifically. So we tend, especially in Western society, to believe that masculine and feminine, male and female, um, man and woman all mean the same thing, and that they're binaries. Nature doesn't really do binaries, nature does spectrums, as is evidenced by the fact that we don't actually have two genders on our planet. We have, I don't know, an infinite number of genders. I am not here to get into that whole debate, but if you look around at colors or heights and sizes of things, or the way that the human body is shaped and formed, or the amount of amazing animals on the planet, or the number of trees and tree species, you can see that binaries aren't really a thing that shows up in nature at all. So I just want to preface by saying that. So masculine and feminine, the first place that I want to begin is this yin yang symbol right here. Most people have seen this symbol, and most people have a cursory idea of what yin and yang mean. So it is the balance of energies. It is the light and the dark, and there's a little bit of light in the dark, and there's a little bit of dark in the light, right? Well, yin is actually also receptive and feminine. It's considered the feminine energy. So it's that thing that goes within itself. It's the inner work, the thing that actually manifests and demonstrates. Another place that this shows up is in Shakti and Shiva in Hindu tradition. So Shiva is the masculine sort of God that is the infinite of all things, and Shakti, or the representation of that rather, and Shakti is the feminine energy. It is that receives from Shiva and then then demonstrates out into the world. So Shakti is the form, Shiva is the thinking, the creation. So yin is that receptive feminine energy that receives into it. And yang is that giving energy. So it is that masculine energy that is giving and that is creating and that is active and actively creating and thinking and moving in the world. So, with all of that being said, if we look at the science of mind symbol, which is here, what we're going to find, I'm going to go this way, what we're going to find is that when you start thinking about some of these other ideas and concepts like creation and thinking and activity and choice, which is all masculine energies, those are the top. Those are the minds, the spirit. And then when you begin to think about receptivity and quietness and stillness and passiveness and just taking in what it is given, that is the soul or the soil, and therefore feminine. So before we go any further, I just want to remind you that the science of mind symbol can go in any direction, and that just because the top is spirit doesn't make spirit better than anything else. So even though we have masculine at the top and feminine in that middle section, does not mean that masculine is above or in control or better than or more powerful than or anything else feminine, right? It is just, once again, a representation and a symbol. So as we're looking at this, I also want to just talk a little bit more about masculine and feminine energy. So I said nature doesn't do binaries, which is why in the yin and the yang, it's actually really beautiful that there's a little bit of one in the other and a little bit of the other in the one, right? Because there's no such thing as just black and white. There's mostly just shades of gray. And So when we're talking about masculine and feminine, it has nothing to do with gender or male and female or boy and girl or man and woman or genitalia or the way that we show up and move through the world. Both of us have these masculine and feminine or yin and yang energies in us, and both of them are equally important. Excuse me. Sometimes it's really important to be that giving sort of fire, activating, creating energy in the world. And sometimes it's more important to be the receptive, soft, feminine, quiet, still, passive energy. Both of these things are important. And one of the problems that we've gotten into is the fact that we think that one is better than the other, or that men always have to be masculine or women always have to be feminine. None of that is true. So I wonder if it's even still recording because it looks like it froze on me. That is a quick update on how masculine and feminine energies fit into the science of mind symbol, with a reminder that masculine does not mean man, feminine does not mean woman, and the science of mind symbol does not need to actually go in any certain direction.